Hello guys! Today's video is all about showing you exactly how to get your oven trays, the oven itself, and even a white leather couch sparkling clean, like seriously spotless. Hi, I'm the world's best cleaner and I've got 4 years of professional cleaning training under my belt, so yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. Okay, so let's start with this couch, because this method works on any leather sofa. All you need is some power paste or chief cream, some dish soap and kitchen cleaner, microfiber cloth, and a scrub daddy or mommy. First, soak your sponge in warm water until it's super soft. Just squeeze it under the water until it really softens up. Next, you'll need the spray. And when I filmed this video, the Sini's kitchen spray didn't even exist yet. Otherwise, I'd totally be using that. But you can also just mix warm water with a bit of dish soap like I'm doing here. Alright, let's get started. First, grab that soft sponge and rub some power paste right onto it. If your sponge isn't wet enough, you are not getting any product to it. Then go straight in and scrub the couch. Look at that! The dirt comes off instantly. Just look at the difference. Yeah, I'll show you first how it looks without the dish soap mix. It definitely works, but it doesn't spread as easily, because that's where the dish soap or kitchen spray comes in. The whole point is to make the surface a bit slippery, so the power paste glides and spreads much better. And once the dirt is off, wipe the surface with a damp microfiber cloth. Not wet, not dry, just damp. So run the cloth under the tap and then squeeze as much water as you can until it's just barely moist. Alright, let's try this with the dish soap mix now. First, I'm spraying a little bit of the spray mix all over the surface to make it nice and slippery. And then I'm going back in with the power paste. Can you guys see the difference? The power paste spreads way easier now, and it's also way easier to wipe off. I'm also using 2 cloths method. I use one to wipe off all the product and then the other one to finish it off and make sure everything's completely gone. Because the goal is to get all the residue off the surface, so don't forget to keep folding your cloth. And guys, I actually sell my own microfiber cloths that I've designed, and they've got super easy folding instructions printed right on them, so you learn it in no time. Links in the description. And here's a pro tip when you are making any kind of spray in a bottle. Doesn't matter what it is. Always pour the water in first, then the dish soap or whatever you are using. That way it won't foam up too much in the bottle when you mix it in this way. Because if you put the soap in first and then add water, it'll foam up like crazy and the whole bottle just fills up with suds. And if your couch is a bit darker, it'd probably go with chief cream instead, just because it's easier to wipe off, because power paste can sometimes leave a bit of white residue, especially on dark surface. You can get it off, but you have to wipe more, But on light colored ones, it's no big deal. And of course, this method is not only for a foul leather couch, because you can use the exact same method on lots of other surfaces that don't soak up water like fabric does. And here's a bunch of stuff you can clean the same way. Foul leather dining chair covers, foul leather bed headboards, foul leather parts of a baby high chair, foul leather office chairs or gaming chairs. This is very good for car seats made of leather. Foul leather tablecloths or protective mats, foul leather parts of strollers like the handlebar or safety bar, handbags or pack bags, and foul leather bench cushions in closets or dressing room. Basically, you can use it for any surface that's smooth, slightly shiny, and doesn't absorb water. Because seriously guys, this couch looks brand new now. I can't see a single mark left on. Do you? Because every coffee stain is completely gone. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, let's move on to the next tip. Alright, I get tons of questions about Induction's cooktops where something burned onto the surface and people just can't get those marks off. They don't even know that they are coming off, but they are. See, nothing happened even though I cleaned it with dish soap. So since we are dealing with burnt on stuff, which means really tough dirt, you're gonna need a tough tool too, a scraper. A lot of people are scared to use one because they think it'll scratch the surface, but it actually won't, because Induction's cooktops are made of glass and the scraper is safe for that. So now the top is completely dry, so I'm scraping it dry. And look how much gunk is coming off. That's been there for years. And of course, it's not gonna look brand new, but it's much better. And this is so satisfying. So if you have a stovetop like this, please do this. It's the best thing ever. I've got an Amazon link in the description to the best scraper I've ever found on Amazon from the US. And for everyone in Europe, Sini.com has the best scrapers out there. This cooktop looks so much better. Next tip. Alright, this is oven glass, so again it's glass, just like the cooktop. So I'm putting a bit of dish soap on and scrubbing with a scrub daddy and nothing comes off. That's why we need a scraper again. But on this surface I'm using dish soap to make it a bit slippery because oven glass usually has grease grime on it. Unlike the cooktop earlier, which just had burnt on gunk. So you can basically scrape it dry if the surface is greasy at all. Does that make sense to you? And you can also use oven cleaner here. It helps break down the grime even faster. But either way, you'll need a scraper, that's for sure. But hey, that was easy and fast, and the result is amazing. So next one! So what about oven trays and racks? So now we are using a strong chemical oven cleaner, so I'm placing a plastic bag underneath to protect the bathroom tile grout from getting stained. And I'll also let the tray soak inside the plastic bag. So I'm spraying oven cleaner all over the trays and racks, covering every part. And by the way, these are my friend's trays and racks, and she thinks there's no way to get them clean again. Does she even know who I am? Clearly hasn't seen any of my videos. Can I even call her a friend at this point? I don't think so. So now I'm carefully wrapping everything up to make sure the oven cleaner doesn't dry out, and I'm letting it sit for at least 5 hours. Or even overnight. But the main thing is don't let it dry. You can always add more if it looks like it's gonna dry out. And guys, look how much of the grime has already melted onto the trays. That's crazy. But I'm sure there are still some burnt spots that didn't get enough time to soak or are just super stubborn. So once again, we need the heavy-duty tools, a scraper and a steel daddy. If the stain is on a flat surface, I use the scraper, but if it's stuck in a small or tricky spot, like in a rack, I go in with the steel daddy. And most of the time you'll need both, since the stains are usually all over the place. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you watch the gunk go sliding right down the drain. Victory! Because guys, the biggest mistake people make with cleaning these is using tools that are way too gentle. Sure, many people know to use oven cleaner maybe, but they don't let it sit there, they don't let it work there, and they use way too soft sponges, so that's a problem. And here I'm showing you another option how to use oven cleaner on the oven glass. Because if the grime is super thick and greasy, like it is here, then you have to let the oven cleaner sit for a while first, and then go in with the scraper. And if you try the dish soap plus scraper method first, and the glass still looks orange or has some brown stains left, then definitely go in with oven cleaner. Because it melts away even the thinnest layer of brown grime from the glass. For example, here I had to add more because there's still so much left. So I let it sit there for extra 15 minutes and did it again, and now it's clean, right? You can see through! Because it's so sad, because some people think that they can see through from their oven glass, but you always can. It's too sturdy. Alright, next tip. We already cleaned these bad boys so they are nice and shiny now, but here's the tip. You can actually remove all the racks and rails inside your oven. Even the back wall, if you see screws there, you can usually take that off too. Like this. Beautiful. And again, we are going in with oven cleaner. So it's the same deal here as with the trays and racks. You want the cleaner to actually do its job, which means it needs time to sit and work. So what can you do? Because see, it's already coming down from the walls. So we need to cover it with plastic to stop it from drying out and to keep everything in place so the cleaner can really do its thing. You can also use a plastic bag, just cut it open, or any kind of plastic cover, just whatever you have. But whatever you do, do not use foil, because foil and oven cleaner together can actually cause a chemical reaction and burn, and then it'll leave permanent marks on your oven. And once again, let the oven cleaner sit for at least 5 hours or overnight under the plastic wrap, so it has enough time to really melt down all that grime properly. And once again, it worked amazing, but I'm sure there are still some little spots left that need the scraper and the steel daddy, because a regular soft sponge just won't cut it here, because you need something tough and gritty. And no, they won't scratch your oven surface, but if you are not convinced, just test it on a small area first and you'll see for yourself. Then comes a super important step, wiping off all the cleaner. You'll want to use multiple cloths for this, and remember to keep folding them so you are not just spreading the dirt and cleaner around. The goal is to get all the product off the surface, so use one cloth to remove the cleaner, then go over it again with a second one, and one more time with a third cloth, just to be sure it's completely clean. And if you still see any marks in the oven, you can use a steel daddy dampened with warm water. Just make sure it's soft on the inside and scrub off the leftover stains with that. And now your oven is clean. It should look like brand new. And if it doesn't and you followed this exact method, feel free to send me photos on Instagram or by email. I'm always happy to help. And let me know in the comments what you're gonna try first. I love you all. Thank you for watching. See you in the next dirty home. I love you guys. Bye.